give up their Super Bowl rings. Real sports where nothing is out of bounds.
We bring you back live to ringside at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas with the premier fighter in the world, Roy Jones, at our side as we get ready now to watch Shane Mosley's second welterweight fight. Roy, you've been extremely complimentary of Sugar Shane Mosley in the past. What are his great attributes as a fighter?
His greatest attribute is that quick, lightning hand speed of his. He has hand speed that is out of this world. That is one thing that can take a fighter a long way in his career. Besides that, he's also a skilled boxer. He knows how to do things that other kids don't do in the ring. He knows how to counter. He knows how to attack. He knows how to do a lot of things. But that hand speed is the biggest weapon in his arsenal.
If he were to work his way forward to a matchup with either De La Hoya or Trinidad, would the hand speed advantage lie with Shane?
Most definitely, without a doubt.
It'll be fascinating to see if it happens. There are some, excuse me, who believe that Mosley may in fact get a shot at De La Hoya in his next time in the ring. Larry, Roy Jones, our expert commentator on Boxing After Dark, is the kind of individual stylist whose efforts are now reverberating outside the sport of boxing, drawing admiration from all over the sporting world. With Mosley, it's a more internal thing. People like you, who've been around boxing for decades, really prize him at a high level. What's the analogy between a Roy Jones and a fighter like Shane Mosley?
Well, Roy has called himself a great athlete who happens to be a boxer. Mosley may be a great fighter who just happens to be an athlete. Roy Jones is a one-of-a-kind, unorthodox original. He uses digital speed to bewilder and beat conventional opponents. Mosley tries to break down and take out his opponents with a classic boxer-puncher style and his own fiery spirit. What he hasn't shown yet is whether he can move up in weight as Roy has and be just as successful.
All right, we're about to see what Mosley can do against a slick welterweight, the complete opposite of the kind of guy he fought in his first welterweight assignment. Here's the tail of the tape. Shane has a 4-year age advantage against Willy Wise, who quite realistically says to us, maybe I have 1 more year left in boxing. The job is to make as many dollars out of it as I can. They're equal in height. 6.5-inch reach advantage for Mosley. They agreed to weigh in 1 pound over the limit at 148 pounds for this 10-round non-title fight. As they enter the ring tonight, Mosley's gained 6 pounds and Wise 5 since the weigh-in yesterday. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Shane Mosley-Willy Wise fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. And Jim, you know, we usually tell you it's the rules of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Nevada has decided to use the rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and it cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 10th and final round. Jim.
All right, Harold, the feel-good story of the year in boxing last year was Willy Wise's stunning upset victory over Julio Cesar Chavez in October. The feel-good story because of what it did for Wise financially and what it set up for him tonight.
After he beat Chavez, Jim, he took his gloves and had Chavez autograph them, which has to be an original idea. And before that, he had fought a very good fight, lost a close split decision to Darryl Coley, a #1 contender who is going to fight Oscar De La Hoya late in February.
Now, the financial implication is that Willie has a 5-year-old son named Dominique who has a very rare disorder called chronic seizure syndrome. But because of the medical difficulties his son has faced over the course of his 5 years, Wise entered the ring against Chavez deeply in debt. He's still in debt as he arrives here tonight, but the paycheck he gets for this fight will bail him out, Larry.
Exactly. We'll take a closer look at him. Between fights, he is a forklift operator at $9 an hour so that he can keep that medical insurance. The $175,000 purse tonight, after everybody else gets their share, will enable him to pay off those medical bills that have been accumulating.
So a triumph of sorts already for Wise, but he's not satisfied with that. He says, look, I've got other guys to tell me about Mosley. I didn't even look at his fights. I just go in there to box and do the best I can do. Now here comes Sugar Shane. The pride of Pomona, California, only recently adopted by Southern California media and fans.
after a long tour of duty fighting mostly on the East Coast.
They hardly recognized him until he was named Fighter of the Year in 1998.
And a closer look at the unbeaten Sugar Shane Mosley.
His very first fight in Las Vegas, after 9 straight KOs, 8 of them in defense of his lightweight title. And there's been reported a $7.5 million offer to stage a fight with De La Hoya in the Staples Center, the new arena in Los Angeles.
$7.5 million for the promotion. The offer to Mosley himself is clocked at about 4, right?
4 or 5, you know, that still has to be negotiated, and he has to be satisfied with the offer.
Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
From the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino of Las Vegas, Nevada, Cedric Kushner Promotions, in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, present the main event of the evening, 10 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, officials at ringside remain the same, except for the 3 judges scoring the bout on the 10-point must system, and they will be Dave Moretti, Jerry Roth, and Paul Smith. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Mitch Halpern. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the sold-out crowd in attendance here at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino of Las Vegas, and the millions watching around the world on HBO Boxing After Dark. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing purple trimmed with silver and weighing in at 148 pounds. His professional record stands at 24 victories, 6 losses, and 4 draws, including 7 knockouts to his credit, and a victory over the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez, which brings him here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, from Westbury, New York, here is Slick Willy Wise. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black and gold and weighing 148 pounds also. His professional record, a perfect one, consisting of 33 bouts, 33 victories, including 31 knockouts. And he is constantly rated pound for pound among the best in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, from Pomona, California, presenting the former lightweight champion of the world, the undefeated Sugar Shane Mosley.
Let's keep this fight clean. Keep punches up, touch gloves, good luck.
How does a boxer like Wise, no matter how wise he may be, outbox a boxer like Sugar Shane Mosley?
I can't really see it. And now that Shane is up in the welterweight division, there would be a close race between he and Brandon Forrest for who would be the best boxer in the ring, skill-wise.
The big problem facing Wise here, in the view of most, is that there's just nothing in his arsenal in terms of punching power or danger or aggressiveness. No weapon to keep Mosley off of him should Shane choose to be aggressive.
Yeah, but sometimes speed and quickness can keep a guy off him, and Wise already shows some real nice quickness here.
Keeps his head up a little bit, though, and Mosley reaches it there with the chopping right hand.
Yeah, if he keeps that head up like that, he's going to get caught.
Shane seems already to be interested in that target as he sees Wise with his head up above his hands, getting a good look at Mosley, but giving Mosley a good look at him. Goes to the body with the right hand. He's been an effective body puncher in many of his fights in the past. Against Rivera, he was conscious of going to the head and didn't throw as many body punches as he might have liked. Sometimes when you fight a slick mover like Wise, it's useful to try to get to the body early and sap some of the speed.
Stop, let go, let go.
Oh, good move by Shane Mosley.
Good left hook to the body, and he came back with a left hook upstairs. Beautiful the way he set up the body shot with the feint to the right.
Go in there, let go, let go.
Mosley lands the right hand and hurt Wise with that right hand punch. Gets in another right.
A good body shot.
Left hook to the body. And down goes Wise after the barrage of punches by Shane Mosley. First big right hand of the bout, and Wise was wobbled.
Hey, you okay? You okay? Come here, look at me.
And that's the end of round one.
The key was, after he landed the shot to the head, Wise covered up. Mosley went downstairs for 3 body shots.
Don't get careless, right? That's all we can do, right? Come on. You got to start first. He's okay, Doc. Go ahead. You got to start first. All right, baby? Rinse that. Water. You got to start first. Keep the jab in his face. Let me have some Vaseline up here. Look at me, Willy. He's fine, Doc. Okay? In and out with him. Be first. Will you please, Will? Be first. Come on.
Right. In his right mind. This time. So take your time and go back in there. Use your jab to work your way in. Go back to the body. He might be turned.
See the punch that first hurt him? It went high behind the ear. And here's the knockdown as he goes inside and downstairs. And this is where the feel-good story of Willy Wise started to be the feel-bad story.
And you saw those body shots. 2 lefts and a right that ultimately put Wise onto the canvas. If you didn't like the cat and mouse of De La Hoya Trinidad, you love the natural aggressiveness of Shane Mosley, who, when he feels like he hurts an opponent, attacks like few others in the ring.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be on you if he hurts you. He wants to get you out of there.
21 out of 41 in the first round. Big left-hand body shot by Mosley. And you heard Willy Wise's cornerman asking him to be first. Not easy against somebody as fast as Mosley.
No, it's not easy at all, because as soon as you stick a punch out there, he counters you.
Mitch Halpern getting the marquee refereeing assignment here in Nevada with increasing regularity. Mosley landed the left. And Wise is hurt again. And this time a timeout. And I think Halpern's going to say it wasn't a knockdown. Yes, no knockdown, because Mosley landed the punch that brought Wise to the canvas after Halpern had asked him to break.
Doc, come here.
It happened very fast, and Halpern's back was to Wise, and he's calling the doctor in now to have a look at him.
Does he get 5 minutes to recover, Harold?
I don't think I've never seen 2 points taken away from a fighter. I'm not saying that it isn't the rules. I said I have never seen it.
So Mosley gets a 2-point deduction in the second round of the fight, after having a 10-8 round, most likely in the first. Shane feels like he can get an early knockout tonight, and he wants it.
Shane's not the only one that feels like that.
He seems to be hurting Wise with every big punch.
Everything he touches him with. And that's where that speed comes into play at.
Because if you don't see it coming, another hard body shot drives Wise back. And another hard body shot with the right hand. Perfect counter by Mosley. This is the danger of following your corner's orders to try to be first.
Let's go.
You get a sense now of how little Chavez had left last fall when he fought against Willy Wise. Wise basically battered Chavez from pillar to post.
It's one thing to batter an old veteran, but it's another thing to catch a warrior in his prime.
A young, strong lion like Mosley.
But I'm just glad to see Willy Wise get the opportunity here.
Oh, and it's great to see him get out of debt and be able to pay off his doctor bills. That's a victory for everybody. Wise badly wobbled by a right hand as the second round came to a close.
But he won that round if 2 points were taken away from Mosley.
Here comes the replay, Larry.
Close quarters, Wise trying to make something happen. The left hook hurts him. Referee jumps in. Now, I didn't think that was a foul, but I didn't think it was a deliberate foul. Now watch. And when you look at it at real speed, it was a reflexive action for Mosley that he should have been penalized for. I wonder whether it should have been 2 points. I don't think it figures to matter much.
Yeah, I don't think it'll matter much here in the future.
I think of the reflexes of Roy Jones, accidentally hitting Montel Griffin when Griffin was down and resulting in a disqualification. Awfully hard to pull the punch once your reflex says go.
That's right.
And obviously Shane Mosley has fabulous reflexes. In round two, Mosley threw 47 punches and landed 30 of them. Several of them hurt Wise, including a right hand just before the bell. Oh, here we go again. Wise trying to hold on as Mosley strafed him with a right hand.
So good body shot.
Mosley learned the value of body shots in the...
Calls that a slip, does Halpern. Mosley goes right back at it because he believed he had Wise in trouble there before the slip.
Wise did hit him with a clean punch on the slip, but it wasn't a knockdown.
As I was saying, Mosley learned the value of body shot sparring with tough Mexican fighters in the gyms of Los Angeles.
Shane Mosley was rated #1 in the world in his weight class and was favored to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal in 1992 before his apple cart was upset at the United States Olympic trials by Vernon Forrest, the fighter you saw in the preceding fight. Yesterday, when we asked Forrest about that in anticipation of a possible matchup down the road between these two, Forrest said that was a long time ago. It's not worth talking about now. Wise in trouble again, his legs wobbling as Mosley attacks. I think Mosley Mosley cost himself a knockdown there by pushing Wise too hard.
I agree with you, Jim. He got a little overexcited for a veteran fighter. Should have taken his time, broken him down.
Every time he touches Wise, Wise goes down. He just touched Wise, then the Wise went down again.
I think Wise wanted to take a knee, and now he is totally crumpled by a right hand, and Halpern says, that's enough. That will do it. And there's a knockout win for Shane Mosley in the third round of his second welterweight fight.
Once again, the kind of dramatic statement, even though it was made at the expense of a journeyman fighter, that Shane Mosley continues to make in making his case for a shot at Oscar De La Hoya or Felix Trinidad.
And what fight fans have to love, you know, at the risk of being repetitive, he's a finisher, Roy.
Oh, yes, he's a big finisher.
Remember we said earlier that what Shane Mosley does is he tries to break down and take out his opponents.
Bigger things down the road for Shane Mosley and his dad, trainer, manager, Jack Mosley. Big smiles tonight in their first fight ever in Las Vegas. All right, Roy, let's look at these replays. Here's what was called a slip early in the round.
That overhand right there hurt him, and that hurt him again. He was definitely through it. Then that body shot really is what would have taken him down, Jim.
And they called that a slip. I think Wise was hurt, as you pointed out, by every power punch. The body shots hurt him a lot, and everything Mosley landed over the top wobbled him.
Right there. There was another shot that knocked him down. That was clearly a knockdown, but the referee couldn't see it.
And here's the end of the fight, which was a big right hand across the top after the body shot.
That was a good headbutt, too.
And pretty good headbutt. You're exactly right. Right on the front of the forehead.
But at that point, it didn't matter.
So, does this tell us something about Mosley's punching power moving up to 147?
It tells you that he sustained the same punching power that he had when he was fighting at 130. He didn't lose any power. He didn't lose any speed. And I think this is beautiful. I think this is going to make for a great matchup with some of the big fighters in this weight division already.
I totally agree. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mitch Halpern calls a halt to this bout at 2 minutes and 28 seconds of the third round, winning his debut here in Las Vegas and winning his 34th bout, his 34th victory, 32nd KO. He is still the undefeated Sugar Shane Mosley.
Final punch stat numbers, and you'll see total dominance by Mosley, who landed, I think, pretty close to 2/3 of his punches. Yep, 77 out of 124 against 13 of 80. It was totally no contest. 10th consecutive knockout for Sugar Shane, 8 of them in the lightweight division. Now 2 straight knockouts to begin his tour of duty in the welterweight division. And those who have been trying to promote the idea of a Mosley De La Hoya bout in Los Angeles have a brand new piece of ammunition for their argument. Larry Merchant with the winner.
All right, thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Shane. We've been here before. You feel that you need to make these kinds of dramatic statements in order to get a fight for the title that you're looking for from an Oscar De La Hoya or a Felix Trinidad?
Yeah, I think that, you know, I got to let the welterweight division know that I mean business. You know, I have hitting power, but that's not the focus that I was trying to do. I felt that I was stronger than him, so that's why I stepped it up on him. When I hit him with a couple of shots, he fell kind of quick, and I was like, wow, you know. And every shot I hit him with, it was hurting him. So I said, okay, well, I better go ahead and step it up and start power punching him more. Because before, you know, I kind of came out and started boxing a little bit. Started bobbing and weaving a little more, trying to get into the groove, you know. But, you know, Willy Wise, he's a boxer also, so it was hard for me to, you know, actually make him get into the fight with me.
What have you learned from your first 2 fights in the welterweight division?
Well, I learned that I have good hitting power in the welterweight division, and that I can hurt these welterweights.
You're not moving up to middleweight soon then?
You know what? I think my next fight is going to be at middleweight. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm going to stay at welterweight. I want to make a statement in the welterweight division, and then, you know, I think that would be my ultimate division. From there, I'll probably go to 54 maybe later on 3 or 4 years from now.
Were you surprised that you had 2 points taken away from you for that punch in the second round?
I was very surprised because, you know, he hit me, the referee told him break, and then he hit me in the stomach after the break, and I swung back. It was like a reaction, you know? And I missed him. I didn't even hit him with the shot. I grazed him, and then he acted. He acted like he got hit, but he really did. I didn't even hit him with the shot. I didn't even hit him. Behind me.
All right. There is a low-level clamor in Los Angeles for you to fight Oscar De La Hoya in Los Angeles. What are your feelings about that?
Oh, you know, I haven't talked to Bob Arum or HBO or anybody. We never sat at the table yet to talk about this June 17th fight. But I'll be happy to fight June 17th. All I want to do is sit down at the table and, you know, learn more about it. You know, what's going to be my pay? You know, I mean, I don't know anything. You know, all I know is they have it on the radios and on and papers saying that Shane's fighting Oscar June 17th. It's a done deal. I haven't talked to anybody, me or my father. So I want to be able to talk to somebody so I can know how much I'm getting paid. And that's all I ask for. But June 17th, what is the offer pay? I don't even know the offer pay yet.
But so to cut through it is you want to fight him if the deal can be worked out.
If the deal can be worked out, and, you know, I can get proper pay.
Do you think you've had enough experience in the welterweight division to take on the top fighters in the division?
Well, I think I proved it here tonight. I mean, this guy, Willie Wise, went the distance with Daryl Coley. And a lot of people thought one judge had Willie Wise win the fight against Daryl Coley. And they went to full 12, and he just beat Chavez. So by me coming in here and making this dramatic, you know, this dramatic effort and knocking him out, and it was just a spectacular show. I think that I show a tremendous amount of power in my punches, and, you know, yes, I think that I deserve adamant pay when I fight De La Hoya.
Quickly, since you and Vernon Forrest go way back, did you see the first fight earlier, and what did you think of Vernon's showing?
I did not get a chance to see Vernon fight. I didn't have a monitor in my room, but I heard that he outboxed Vincent Phillips pretty well. I have to go back and look at the tapes, and, you know, I know Vernon is a tremendous fighter, and, you know, he went to the Olympics, so he does deserve just due and maybe fight for world title. Maybe he can fight James Pace for the WBA title, and that'll be a good enough title. But right now, you know, what's on the play for me is Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you so much, Shane Mosley.
Beat down, baby.
So, finally, this word. A week ago, we were in Radio City Music Hall, an Art Deco palace. It seemed to me that boxing was like a mutt being taken for a walk through Buckingham Palace. Tonight, we were back in a rock palace, a kind of mosh pit called The Joint. I think this is where boxing really belongs. Jim?
Larry, totally unaware of the rest of the picture there and struggling through anyway. All right, Roy, suppose they can make Mosley De La Hoya June 17 in Los Angeles. Any reason for this guy to wait, or does he go right ahead?
No reason for him to wait. What is he going to wait on?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
How much bigger of a fight can he get than Oscar De La Hoya?
There's a rumor, you heard him talking about money. There's a rumor that the offer is going to amount to something like $4 million. There's a rumor that his dad, Jack Mosley, doesn't think that's enough. I personally can't imagine that they would pass up this opportunity, quibbling over $500,000 or $1 million.
I don't know. You know, you never know what.
And you don't want to do other people's business for them, obviously.
Right. So I can't really say what he'll take. I mean, he'll take what he thinks is fair for him. If he doesn't think it's fair for him, then he won't take it.
All right, very quickly, your broken hand, what does that mean to the immediate future of your career, and when do you expect to be back in the ring?
I expect to be back in action about May. Broken hand, as you saw, cannot stop me. Nothing can stop me when I want to do something. So come May, somebody else will be in a lot of trouble.
All right, Tim. We'll look forward to seeing that again. And we'll have a final word on what happened in the ring here in just a moment. Let's look ahead to some upcoming programs on HBO.
On the next Sopranos, family business or a showdown?
So many tragedies and near tragedies to those close to you, huh?
Things could have gone the other way, my little nephew.
Tony makes the first move.
As far as the rest of everything that Junior owns, it's now mine.
Then Sister Janice is taking care of Mother.
I could take good care of you.
Or just taking care of business.
She's a real snake in the grass.
In the coming weeks, meet a new family member.
Just did 10 fucking years.
Now he's making up for lost time.
You gonna let that animal get away with this?
The Sopranos. Sunday night at 9 on HBO.
We're gonna have a problem. A bad one.
Want more Sopranos? Log on to HBO.com.
On deck for Real Sports.
NBA superstar Kevin Garnett passed on college and jumped straight to the pros, even though his critics told him to stay in school.
You have to be mature in situations that, some guys are probably not ready for.
Derek McGinty profiles the man they call the Kid, who's living up to the hype and loving every minute of it.
Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel.
Premieres Monday night at 10 on HBO.
Nothing is out of bounds.
February 19, Boxing After Dark celebrates its 4th anniversary with a special edition. Marco Antonio Barrera, who won a spectacular war against Kennedy McKinney on our first show ever on BAD, faces 122-pound champion Eric Morales. Great fight. 1 week later, Oscar De La Hoya returns to the ring in his first fight since his disappointing loss to Felix Trinidad. De La Hoya fighting Daryl Coley live from Madison Square Garden. Also that night, the human boxing highlight film Arturo Gatti takes on Joey Gamache, only on HBO, the heart and soul of boxing. Earlier this evening, here at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, you saw welterweight contender Vernon Forrest pounding out an easy 12-round unanimous decision over cool Vince Phillips. A measured professional effort by Forrest, who dominated the fight with his jab, his right hand, and his left hook. And then, in a spectacular follow-up to his welterweight debut last fall, Shane Mosley took on slick Willy Wise, found him early, and beat him into submission in the 3rd round. The 10th consecutive knockout for Mosley, the former lightweight champion, now campaigning for a welterweight title. Coming up immediately following this show, stay tuned for the HBO hit series The Sopranos. And now for the entire crew, I'm Jim Lampley saying so long from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Boxing After Dark. The executive producer of HBO Sports is Ross Greenberg. Tonight's edition of Boxing After Dark was produced by Dave Harmon and directed by Mark Payton. Associate directors John Crystal and Max Siegel. Assistant to the producer Thomas Huppine. Production manager Mark Hayden. Technical supervisor Bob Hunter. And the technical director is Doug Getz.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.
He was the man with the gold.